We're in the heart of Sandton City, the concrete jungle of Johannesburg, and yet what we're about to experience is life truly lived in Technicolor.
In today's episode of Finest Homes, we visit a contemporary Johannesburg North property where art has truly taken centre stage. The design team from Kim H. New will take us through this eclectic multi-level home, and we'll meet with an art curator, Monique House, who assisted the homeowners in building their ever-growing collection. If an eclectic design scheme sparks your interest, then stay tuned as we decipher this exciting style for you.
Wow, Erad, it's amazing how the art just welcomes you in. I've definitely just walked into an art lover's home, but what was your involvement in this project?
Well, thank you, Tamila. Well, I was the interior designer who was privileged enough to actually help create this beautiful space. So it's a once-in-a-lifetime space that I managed to work on. I'm very proud of it.
I would be too if I were you. What was the client's brief when you first started?
Well, originally they came to us because we did the previous owner's home, and they saw that when they bought the home. So they contacted us and asked us to please just paint and furnish out the home. But what turned out as a simple furnishing project actually ended up being a full renovation and turned into this beautiful space.
Well, the exterior from entry is beautiful, but it's a really great surprise to come in and see so much space and light right at the entry.
Absolutely. The house was designed to be a bit of a surprise factor when you walk through the front door. And it seems deceivingly small, but we've got multiple levels that actually helped us to fit a massive house onto what is a smaller stand. And when we go downstairs, you'll see there's quite a surprise of an open living area downstairs.
Well, wait no more. I can't wait to see it. Shall we hit it?
Absolutely.
In a house that could easily be cold and clinical due to the contemporary architecture, there is a sense of warmth brought forward by the wooden floors and vibrant colours that greet you as you make your way through the house.
Right, so it looks like every single art piece has been perfectly situated, but I'd love to know how the layout has been influenced by the artwork in the kitchen area.
Well, in the kitchen area specifically, it was influenced. This beautiful Norman Catherine piece was a piece the client had before they moved in. And we were briefed to specifically allow a space for it. So we had to adjust when we designed the kitchen, the height, so that they would fit in perfectly, and they'd be the first thing you see as you walk in.
I'll tell you what else works perfectly, is the integration of the cupboards.
Absolutely, because we had to have a fully integrated space that brought the living room into the kitchen, and we didn't have that much space in this part of the house. We had to integrate cupboards on all sides of the room. So what seems to be a kitchen on this side is actually a 360-degree kitchen, with integrated fridges, cupboards, everything else just fitting into its place perfectly.
Well, the first thing that you notice when you walk in here are the sleek, strong lines, and yet I notice you've also played with a few other textures.
A key integral part of creating an eclectic contemporary space is to actually layer it, and the best way to do that is through textures. Now, I love the design of texture, and in this home we had the opportunity to play with so many different types of textures. From solid timber floors running all the way through from the lounge to the kitchen, stone walls, to even the odd wallpaper on the ceiling, just to warm up the space and really tie it all together.
Well, what you've done exceptionally well is integrate these two spaces.
Thank you. The house was designed for a large family who love to socialize together. So it was really important to take the key spaces one would entertain and actually link them all together. So we've got this fantastic flow running from the kitchen through to the dining room, to the lounge, to the outside patio. And we're almost stepping it down in tiers so that we never ever obscure the outside of the beautiful art in the garden, and just draws you out that way.
This truly is a home that caters for a large and social family. The generous outdoor entertainment area is effortlessly integrated with nature, all the while complemented by structural sidecans and sculptural artworks.
It's really hard not to notice the stark contrast between the dark, moody kitchen and this light, elegant family space. Tell me how you married these elements together.
We were talking about texture earlier and how things kind of layer into the space. And because art is such an integral part of this space, the client always wanted to put this Lionel Schmidt head behind us, and it had to be visible. So we started grading the space from darker, bolder colors all the way through to your lighter tones as you move outside, which is where most of your natural light is, so that it's kind of a seamless transition from the dark to the light.
Well, Gerard, this really feels like the epitome of indoor and outdoor living, and I love how you've used furniture to accommodate this.
Oh, thank you. We actually sourced this from Italy. It's a wonderful sofa, and it wouldn't be what you usually would do in a space that integrates with inside-outside, because it almost creates a closed conversation bit, which was part of the idea, the duality of the space. Because these wonderful little backrests can actually move and swivel around, so you can end up sitting on both sides of the sofa, integrating with the outside and with the inside at the same time.
And I assume to successfully achieve this, you used a lot of glass along the walls. But where there is wall, really the use of paint really complements the artworks.
Yes, like I said, art was a central part of the brief and the home and the client's lifestyle. And we had to find a way of actually emphasizing that while blending it in at the same time. So we chose the opposite color to what you usually see in a gallery, which is all white. We opted for a dark charcoal because it actually kind of just fades in and creates this infinity feel, putting the focus on the art on every single wall. We also couldn't put too much color in on the walls because, well, the art, as you can see, is very colorful. So we had to keep it natural, yet complementing to what is the main focus in this home.
After the break, we speak to art curator Monique House about the process of selecting and collecting art for the home.